In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up an email template, how to add your email template to a workflow, and also how to set up campaigns inside of GoHighLevel. Now, if you have not got GoHighLevel, I will leave a link in the description down below of where you can get a 30-day free trial. Now, once you're signed up to GoHighLevel, you should be on your dashboard. From your dashboard, what you're going to want to do is actually come down here to marketing. So click on that. And from here, what we're going to want to do is come up to emails up the top here. Now, inside of emails, what we can do is we can actually select templates over here. So we select that. And now from here, what we're going to want to do is actually select template just here, select that. And now we have three options. Now we have the first option here, which is the design editor. And this is basically a very simple way to make templates. Now, if you're just getting started, I recommend using this one as it is just drag and drop. If you are more advanced, you can use a code editor and a text editor over here as well. But we are going to use the first one just here, just to drag and drop and click on select. Now what this is going to do is it's actually take us over to the editor where we can actually edit a template. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to customize this just a little bit. We don't want to make a full template just yet. We just want to make something that we can come back and use each time we want to make a new template. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get rid of this text here. So you can hover over it and click on the little bin icon just here and click that. That will get rid of that text. So what we're going to want to do first is actually come over to the side here to Emblems. And if we scroll down until we see the layouts, inside of here we can actually drag in a layout. Now you've got quite a few in here you can choose from, but I'm going to choose this one here. It's got the one. Select that and just drag that on just like this. Now you can do some customization to this if you want to. I'm not going to be doing any of the customization as I think it should be alright. Now from here what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the little X button just here, and now we're brought back over to the Emblems. Inside of here I'm actually now going to drag in a footer. So I'm going to drag that in just like that. Now it's very important to have one of these inside of your email template. So what you're going to want to do first is actually put in your own email address in here and also your address in here as well. So just add that inside of here. We can also want to keep this unsubscribe list from here. You want to keep that as well. And up here we can add in all the rights as well if you want to do that, but you can remove this one. We don't need that one in here. So you simply just delete that out, and what we can do is we can just move these up. We can also add in some text as well. Come over to the side here and drag in some text. And inside of here, we can put a little message if we want to, but we don't want to customize this too much as we're only using this one here as a normal template that we can like duplicate and use for another template if we want to make a different email later on as well. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to remove this text here as I don't want this in here for my template for now. I'm going to delete this out by clicking the little bin icon. And inside of our footer, I actually want to change out the email in here. So in here, I'm actually going to put in my email address. Also, we can add in our business email address as well. So we can just click on enter and we can add in our business address here as well. So I recommend doing that. And once you've done that, you're going to want to put in a name up here. So I'm going to take this out. I'm actually going to put in, so I'm going to call mine the welcome email template. So what we're going to do now is just click on save up in the corner here. And we're going to go back over here. Now, as you can see, we have now got a welcome template. And what we're going to do is we're never going to use this template. What we're going to do is we're going to come onto the three little dots here. And we're actually going to duplicate this template that we just made. And if you scroll up here, we got clone just there. So we just clone this template. And now we can name this something that we are going to do. Now we can just name this to whatever we want. So I'm actually going to just take some of this out. And it's actually going to be my welcome email. So this is the email that people are going to receive when they actually sign up to a form or whatever you have set up. So this is good for me. Welcome email, click on clone. And now it's taken us straight to the editor. And as you can see up here, we've got all the text that we have done from our previous template. This just saves us from actually adding this in all the time. And it makes it just a little bit easier. So now what we can do is we can actually add in like text and whatever we want, like pictures. Now if we come over here to the side to the emblems, we can just drag in the text. And inside of here, we can add like a welcome email to someone. Now I've just put in here something quite basic. So what we can do is we can actually put some spaces in between some of this stuff here. Also, up here in the first name, we're actually going to want to get rid of that. And if we come over here to this little icon just here, custom values, if we select into here, what we can do is we can actually hover over user and select it. And inside of here, we can do the first name. So if we select this, and if we do this, whatever name that the customer used to sign up with maybe your sign up form that you set up, when we send emails out, automatically their name's going to be put in here for us. So that makes it a little bit easier for us. And it makes it a little bit more personal. So what we can do is now put a space under that. We can also put a space under here as well. We can bold this text up a little bit bigger by hovering over it, come up to the top here, and we can just make this a little bit bigger. And we can also put a bold onto this as well, something like that. We can also come down here and just make this a little bit more spaced out, and we can put this a little bit more spaced out as well. And down here, you can add in your name, your business name, and your phone number and website if you want to do that. Now I'm actually going to remove I think some of this out, and you can put your name in here if you want to, but I'm just going to leave that blank. Down here, we can add in a link if we want to as well. So we can paste in a link in here, or we can simply just hover over this. We can make this as a whole link. So we come up here to the little link text here, and inside of here, we can put a URL. Now for me, I've just put in the Google URL. Now I don't actually have a place that people can go to, so I'm just going to use the Google URL for now and click on save. Now you can see that we've got a little line under this text. Now whenever someone clicks this, it would send them over to Google, but ideally you're going to want to put in your own link to your own website, maybe to a blog. We can also just change out the text completely, so we could just hover over it, get rid of it, and just paste the link in like that. If you want to do it that way, you can do it that way, but it looks more professional when you do it something like this. We can also change this text out to something like click the link. So something like that, click me to go to the blog. We can also make this bold as well if we want to. So we can come up here to the bold, make that a little bit bigger. We can also make this link blue. So we come up here to a little A icon here. And down here, we can just change out the color. So we can click on add. And down here, we can just change this to a blue, something like that. And click on add. That didn't work. So move that up here and click on update. And there we go. We've got a blue link there now. That looks a bit more better and looks a bit more professional as well. So we could do something like that. And once we are done from in here, we can simply just come up here and click on save template. So I'm click that now. And now what we're going to want to do is come back. And now it's time to make a workflow. So to make a workflow, it's actually very easy. What we're going to want to do from here is actually come over here to automations. We can select that. And inside of here, when this loads, what we're going to want to do is actually click on create workflow and start from scratch. And now we are inside of the workflow area. And inside of here, what we're going to want to do is add on new trigger. So add new trigger. And when this menu here pops up, simply what we're going to want to do is scroll down until we find the form submitted. Select that. And inside of here, we're going to want to add a filter and select inside of here and form is. And inside of please select form, you're going to want to select your own form. Now, if you don't have your own form, you can easily make one inside of GoHighLevel. I will leave a link in the description down below if you have not made one already. But I'm going to select my form I've already got in here. Now, if you're doing this for your first time, you're probably not going to have a form inside of here. So just make sure you do make one. Now, again, I do have a video linked in the description down below on how to make a form. Now I'm going to select this one here. And now what we're going to want to do is click on Save Trigger. And now we've got our first submission in here. So whenever someone comes into our form and submits their details, we're going to make it so an email gets sent to them. So what we can do is we can click on the little plus button down here. And inside of here, we can add in a tag if we want to. Now it's up to you if you want to keep stuff organized, you can add a tag. Now for me, I'm not going to add a tag. I'm just going to scroll down and click on Send Email. Now inside of here, we can put in a name. We can also put the name from or the from name just here. And also we've got the same for the email as well here, the from email. Down here we've got the subject. And just here we've got our template. So inside of here, we can select this. And inside of here, we can use our welcome email. Now we don't want to use our welcome email template as that is just a template that we made. So we just want to use our welcome email here. And as you can see down here, we can see what it looks like. It's a little preview of what our template looks like just down here. And if you want to, you can click on here to edit it. It's up to you if you want to do that. And also down here, we can do a test email as well. Now, if we scroll up, what we're going to want to do is actually just fill in some of this information here. Now, I've just put in some basic information inside of here. As you can see, I've got my email, my name. This is everything that people are going to see on our email. And now what we can do is we can simply just come down here to save actions. And now we've got a basic email inside of here. And now what we're going to want to do is actually come up here to the publish button. Click on the publish button and click on save. Now it's very important to select this publish button as this will not work. Also very important as well, make sure we do give it a name up here. So get rid of all this and put in your own name. So I've just called mine the welcome email and click on save. Now from here, we're going to come back. Now we can see inside of here, we've got our welcome email workflow. That is how you set up a basic workflow. Now if you want to test your workflow, and see what it looks like inside of your email, what we can do is we can come back inside of the three little dots and click on edit workflow. And what we can do from in here is actually select the email. And down here, we can put in our email address. Once you've put in your email address, select on the send test mail, select that, and that will be sent over to our email address. So as you can see just here, we've got our email, welcome aboard. If we select inside of here, we can now see what our email looks like. And now what we're going to do is we're actually going to make our campaign. So we come back over to marketing, come back over to our emails. Inside of here, we can now make a campaign. So select that and now create campaign. Now inside of here, we can actually use our template that we already made. So this is the one we just saw a minute ago inside of my email. So we can now select this. What we can also do is we can actually edit some of this out. So we can change some of this text around. We can also change links if we want to, add in more links. We can add in a video inside of here as well, a YouTube video. We can also come over here and add in like a product, an image if we want to. So you can add in some images. So we can just drag that in either up the top or the bottom of the page. So we can add that up here. We can now select into here. And on the side over here, we can actually add in an image. So I can actually click on the little pen icon just here, create image using AI, or upload from a media library. So we can use that. And inside of here, we can add in our logo. We can perhaps add in like a picture from a thumbnail we've made for YouTube, or any other picture that you do upload from up here. Now I'm going to add in my logo. Click on Insert Media. Now it's a little bit big, so we can make it a little bit smaller by coming over to the side here, and we can just change this down to 200. Something like that looks all right. Maybe a little bit smaller. Something like that. That looks pretty good. So we can just keep that just like this. Now, once you are happy with your template, what you can do is you click on Save, and we can also send or schedule. Now, what this will do is we can send emails straight away to, like, say we have a massive email list, so we could send it to a load of people straight away. So a campaign's a really good way if you just want to send emails out straight away. So if we click on Send or Schedule, inside of here, we can now send it now. So we can put the email sender address. So we can put our email address inside of here. We can also put the sender name. We can also put the subject line inside of here. We can also do a preview text inside of here as well. And we can do a bunch more options down here. We can track clicks, etc. You can read all this. You can see what this stuff does. We can also schedule as well if we want to do that. We can select a specific date. So we can do that from up here. But I think most people are going to use this send now. And from here, we can see our email template. And down here, we've got required fields. And we can see that we need to actually put our sender info inside of here. So we need to actually fill out this information here. Then once you've done that, you can send this email out to all the people that you have on your email list. So that is how you set up a campaign inside of GoHighLevel. Very simple. Now, if you have not got GoHighLevel, I do have a 30-day free trial you can use with a link in the description down below. But that is it from me, and I'll see you in my next video.